I'm here to tell you about the best pimento cheese spread recipe that you've ever had. I want to show you how to make it, but obviously we're not in the kitchen right now, so I want to give you a little history behind the recipe before we go on and actually demonstrate. So the recipe came from Merridees cookbook. Who's Merridee and why is that relevant to you? So it's relevant because she's my mother-in-law, pictured behind me, and that's why I'm in this room. So she learned as a little girl in Minnesota how to bake bread, how to bake cookies, and how to make the best pies in Minnesota and in the Northern Territories. She moved to Tennessee, she married, and in 1981 she started baking bread and actually selling it out of her home. It became so popular, she actually sold out of a log cabin in Fairview, Tennessee, off the side of the road. So that evolved into a restaurant in Franklin, Tennessee. Franklin's a little town about 30 miles south of Nashville, and it's a historic town, a lot of tourism, and if you ask any resident or any tourist in the area, they will know what Merridees Breadbasket is. In fact, it was even featured in Southern Living magazine a couple years ago as one of the best hotspots to visit. So that's why it's relevant. Little mock-up of Franklin right behind me, picture of Merridee, her recipe book. It was really, really hard to choose. She has lots of delicious recipes. But let's go on over to the kitchen and decide how we can make the best pimento cheese spread. Now we're on to the demonstration on how to make Merridee's famous pimento cheese spread. So I have Merridee's cookbook right here with me with all her recipes. The pimento cheese is actually, she has 3 children, their favorite. So I have never made it before, but I'm going to tackle it right now and we're going to make it together. So as you see, I have all of the ingredients prepped in front of me. I have my wooden spoon and a grater to grate the cheese. I have the bowl to mix it all in. And then I have the crackers. We're going to actually try it on crackers afterwards. But I would suggest, again, with all of Merridee's great recipes, she has egg bread that's delicious to have pimento cheese on, and my favorite's Viking bread. So one of these days we'll tell you about that as well. So we're going to continue with pimento cheese. The key ingredient right here is white cheddar cheese. So we're using the Tillamook white cheddar cheese. You know, I get this at Costco and it lasts, weeks at a time, and it's delicious, high quality cheese. So it's important to have high quality ingredients as we make this. Getting pre-grated cheese is probably not the best thing to do. It's kind of coated and it's not fresh. So I always prefer a nice big block. Again, Tillamook is great, and then it's freshly grated right here, all ready to go. So we need a ½ pound of white cheddar cheese to be kind of the basis for this pimento cheese. So here it goes, right here in the bowl. And I have my little dog underneath me, so he's going to catch anything that I drop. It's pretty smart, because I drop a lot. So here's my cheese. Start with the very basics. It's not a very complex recipe, as you can see, but it's going to be well worth it. Also the key, Merridee always used Hellmann's mayonnaise. I prefer lightening up a bit sometimes with the Hellmann's Light, but I'm going to go ahead and use the real Hellmann's this time. And we need a ½ cup, let me make sure, ½ cup of Hellmann's real mayonnaise. So I have this in my handy dandy Pampered Chef measuring cup right here, so I'm going to put that in. Get my wooden spoon, scrape it all up because it's so delicious. And I'm going to just mix it in a little bit, kind of fold it in gently. It's kind of difficult because you have all this cheese wanting to stick together, but I think it's going to be okay. You can also grate this cheese a little finer, but we prefer, again, with crackers as a spread, we prefer it kind of a coarsely grated pimento cheese. If you've had other pimento cheeses, it's kind of creamy. This is more just spread it on your crackers and munch away. It's delicious. So your choice. So now that I have all that mixed up, here's kind of the final product. It's now a mayonnaise cheese, basically. I am going to add 2 tablespoons, let me make sure that's sure, 2 tablespoons of chopped pimentos. So, just got a jar of pimentos at the store. There goes 1. I don't worry about the juice. The juice is fine in this. And 2 tablespoons. Set that aside. And here we go. And that just adds some nice color and definitely some nice flavor to the pimento cheese. So as we mix this in, well, it's kind of getting creamier, so I think this is good. This is looking good. So here's what I have with the pimentos. Now, not on Merridees recipe, I'm going to do a little adjusting here because I just received some hatch chilies from New Mexico. So I have a friend in New Mexico that every season sends us a big box of hatch chilies. This batch happens to be a very, very hot, spicy batch. So typically I would use more, but I'm not going to put very many in there because it does make this pretty spicy. So just to add a little kick, an extra flavor, I'm going to add some of these. I chopped them up pretty fine. They're kind of mushy, but so delicious. I'm going to add the hatch green chilies. You can also find this in the grocery store as well. So there they go. Mix it all together. Oh, I can't wait to test this. This is going to be so good. Probably my next dinner party, this is what I'm going to serve for an appetizer. So there we go. Mix it all together. Thank goodness for good instruments. This wooden spoon really did help because it was kind of thick and crumbly. So there is our pimento cheese spread. That is really all there is to it. Additionally though, you know what, you could add some sweet pickle. So I think I am. I think with all the spicy hatch chilies in there, I might add some sweet pickle. So hang on just 1 second. I'm going to grab some. Just for a little added flavor. Wickles relish, it's a little sweet relish. I'm just going to use the same spoon, and I'm probably going to add a tablespoon of sweet relish in there. So sweet and spicy, my favorite. And again, depending on your taste, you might want it less spicy and a little more sweet, so you can adjust as you go on. But this is really beautiful. So that is the pimento cheese spread. Let's take it and try it out. So just spread it on a cracker. Oops, drop it on your ring. Oh my goodness. This is why this was the infamous pimento cheese recipe. It's delicious. I would definitely recommend this for your next party or just enjoying a nice summer afternoon. So easy to do, good high quality ingredients. It took us about 3-4 minutes to throw it together, and you got a great spread or sandwich for your next event. So enjoy.